Hi, my name is Chris Erics, aka Baby Trump. You've seen me a lot, probably the last 2 to 3 months. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm here to explain to you what these babies behind me have done for me in less than 90 days. I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer May 17th of this past year. I turned down chemo and radiation to do Coriolis versicolor in forest mushrooms. Take 5 in the morning, 5 at night. In 3 weeks, in only 3 weeks, my tumor shrunk to a third, my immune marker doubled. 56 days later, I was cancer free. My tumor shrunk to 5 millimeters by 4 millimeters. Take care of you and take care of your pets with Inforce Coriolis versicolor.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Flexies and fellow PPNers around the world. I am so I don't know what the word excited. Um, I'm always excited, right? You guys have been following me. I've been going through a little bit of a heartbreak, couple of months, but I'm over it now. I'm moving forward, and God's got me, and I know He did not bring me this far to leave me. So, um, when somebody doesn't want you anymore and doesn't want you in their life, you move on, right? You find somebody that wants to care about you, to love you, and that is what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to go back to the first Christian book I ever read in my life. It was called Love and Respect. And we're going to talk about my message about that. I'm going to tie biblical verses into this. And look, this isn't if you're only married, this is if you're in a relationship, okay? And hopefully that this sheds some light on what you're going through, or maybe you've gone through it. Maybe you can relate or resonate. Maybe you know somebody that is going through something like this. Share this with them. Please comment on this. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you don't like me. Just comment. Share this. In front of me, I have my friends. Um, give all my praise and glory to God, obviously, but this is really what changed my life forever. I took 5 in the morning, 5 at night of these. I just talked to my brother from another mother, Michael Mazer. Maybe that's why I'm so excited. He has a birthday coming up, and him and I talked, and we made some plans for the future. So I'm really excited about that. And God puts people in your life and takes people out of your life for a reason. And I don't know if you can see by camera, but I'm getting what's the word? Not bigger, but I'm gaining weight, and and it is muscle. It is pure muscle, and I don't know if you know how difficult it is to put pure muscle on your body. Never mind being 5 months cancer free. So that being said, a couple of things I do want to talk about. I'm going to be talking all over the place here very, very soon. I've got my own events coming up. We're putting an event together. Actually, we talked about it yesterday. We're doing with athletes. We're going to be doing that in Arizona, MMA, NFL, NBA, NHL, and also MLB. We're going to do a hosted luncheon. We'll have a couple of people speak. My good boy AC is going to come. He's going to talk about his $1 million Mingle charity that I'm behind and I absolutely love. I have my boy Cameron going to talk about his Halo Wellness and what it has done for me. And that is the reason why my voice is so powerful now. It is so loud. I am not straining. If I'm talking loud, good. I've been wanting this, and it's only going to get better. So, hopefully, you're watching this and you know somebody that's going through cancer. going through Alzheimer's, Lyme disease. These mushrooms will support all that. Cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetic. It will help all of those. Now, I'm not a doctor. I can't guarantee you anything. I can't say it's going to heal anything, but it healed my cancer. So if it healed my cancer, shrunk my tumor 50% under my tongue, which my oncologist said, I said it was unbelievable. What did he say? I forgot the exact word. Remarkable. That is the word. I said unbelievable. He said remarkable. So we'll go with his word. It's better. April 13th, come to Nashville. Come and say hello to me. Come and say hello to my buddy Ohio Brett and Chaz and Warren and Alex Gonzalez and all the other. I'm sure Dallas is going to be there as well. Truth by WDR, I think, is going to be there. Come say hi, right? I'm going to have my shirts there. I'm going to have the mushrooms here. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Speaking, I'll be in Miami April 29th, 30th with Les Brown. I'm excited about that. Details to follow. So let's get right into it. Let's get into love and respect. So the reason, and let me pull this up. If you want the book, I highly, again, this is the very first Christian book that I ever read. I remember I was going through a breakup. I was leaving a woman. I always leave women. And I don't leave women because I'm happy, and I talk to them and I have discussions and I say, hey, listen, I was talking to Robin, who owns the salon that I go to, the spa. And I want to give a shout out. Tropical Illusions. Man, I love you guys. Every time I walk through that door, I have a smile on my face, whether I'm being greeted by Chloe, Robin, Mark. And let me tell you something about Tropical Illusions. Never have I ever gone to a tanning salon or a spa 15 minutes before they close and they let me in the door. I was 5 minutes late from them closing. Mark, the owner, was there, Robin's lovely husband, and I walked away and he let me in to tan. That is the type of response and, more importantly, the customer service that you get from Chloe, from Mark, from Robin, and everybody else there that works there. It's just a great place. I'm usually there for about an hour and a half. Sometimes I have lunch there. They have become my friends. I go in the floating pod for a half hour. Today I'm going to try to do an hour where I just kick back. I float for an hour, shut my phone off, have my iPod on, put some Christian music on, and just go to sleep. Just shut down, restart my heart. We talk about restarting my heart, so I want to give a shout out. Also, shout out to the Wash guys here in, where do I live? Aubrey. They're in Frisco. Man, when I bring my car there, it's literally, I bring it up and they detail the inside of my car for $55. It looks brand new. I want to give a shout out to the Wash guys. They are impeccable. They don't care if you tip them or not. They want to take care of your car. And when it leaves, it looks better than when you bought it. So I want to give a shout out to two of those people. And look, for businesses that do me right locally, I don't get paid for anything. I want to help you out by giving you a shout out. So thank you so much for your patronage, but most importantly, your hospitality. So we get into love and respect. And why do I go to these companies when there's competition? Because a man is about respect. A woman is about love. And I never realized that until I read this book, Love and Respect. And right here, $4.59, guys. $4.59. You can have this in your hands. I highly suggest you get this and read this. It is absolutely phenomenal. It really taught me about what she needs. And my ex-girlfriend, all she has to say is, you left me, you left me, you left me. Well, yeah, I left you because I wasn't being heard. You weren't listening to my feelings. And you did the same thing 3 months after. So nothing changed, right? People don't leave people or leave relationships or friendships because they're happy. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that hurts you, that if somebody tells you, hey, look, you hurt me. This is what you did. Going forward, I appreciate if you wouldn't do this anymore. It is your opportunity right then and there to choose. Do I want this person in my life anymore? If so, I'm not going to do that. Because if I keep doing that, they're going to leave me. They just told me. It is not hard. When somebody leaves you, you don't put the blame on them. Look in the mirror and look at yourself and go, what did I do? And don't play the victim. Oh, you didn't like me. Oh, it was everything. No. Specifically was told what hurt me, what I didn't like. And that's respect. And that's what I want to talk about. I also want to talk about love for a woman, right? So marriage is at its best beautiful beyond words. I was married for 11 years to a dear woman. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot from her. She taught me a lot. But at its worst, it's a train wreck with lots of casualties. Marriage, or even a relationship, can be the source of our greatest joys or at the core of our deepest hurts, which you have watched with your own eyes. I had people text me. Thank you so much for the texts, the emails, the phone calls. Please don't stop. I love them, and I read every single one of them, and I try to answer every single one. But people said they saw the hurt while they watched my show. Isn't that crazy? That people could see me hurting just speaking. And my ex, when I was voicing it, when I was telling it, when I was texting it with words, couldn't get it. Marriage and relationships is complicated. And sometimes marriages and relationships are all over the place emotionally. And the Bible does not offer easy answers, but it does have good answers, and that's what we're here for. What I want to talk about is the Bible's most important passages on marriage. Two absolute essential to a strong marriage or relationship is love and respect. If you don't have love and respect, you don't have a marriage, you don't have a relationship. These are big. Love and respect are to your marriage like food and water is to your body. You can try to survive without them, but it won't be pretty. And most of us know that. But sometimes our best attempts to show love and respect to our spouse get lost in translation, which is weird because we speak the same language. So how do we love and respect in a way that our partner understands? Our focus today is the Bible and what it says about marriage. I'm going to be here to explain and we'll apply, but really, I'm the third most important person in this operation. This plan is about God's word and your marriage or your relationship or your upcoming marriage. I want to welcome husbands and wives to be. Okay, we're going to dig in. The end of Ephesians 5, perhaps the Bible's most essential chapter on marriage and relationships. The last verse summarizes the heart of it. Verse 33, speaking first to husbands. This is so powerful, men. each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself. And the wife must, what's the word? Must respect her husband. Now, I have people say, well, we live together, or, we're in a long relationship, over a year, 2 years. Okay, then you act married. See, when you act married, then you act and react differently. You don't put yourself in compromising positions. If you're in a relationship, I know so many men, I know so many women, they're in relationships. I mean, I had just a situation where I had a woman talk to me, but she was in a relationship. That's a no-no. And I said, you're in a relationship. That's wrong. That's wrong. And it doesn't matter how hot you are, how beautiful, how handsome, nothing. If somebody's in a relationship, you need to honor that and respect that. Okay? I want to read that again. Ephesians 5:33. And this is to the husbands and the men. Each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Now, going back, if you follow Flex the Truth and Flex Your Faith, hopefully you do, I talked about how the umbrella, Christ, or ladder, however you want to call it, and that the submissions, that the man submits to God. Okay? And when the man submits to God, then the woman submits to the man. And then the children submit to the man and the woman. Right? If that does not happen, if the man does not submit to God, then the woman's not going to submit to the man. And it's going to be chaos. So if the man submits to God, he should be a God-fearing man. He should love God more than anything, which means he would love himself too. And that's what this is saying. There it is. Love and respect. Interesting. The husband is called to love. I am a man that women do not leave. No woman has left me. In a serious relationship, no woman has left me. That is not cocky. That is not arrogant. It just shows you the caliber and the type of man that I am. That I know how to show love to a woman. This last woman, I gave this woman more than I ever gave my ex-wife. She just didn't love me back the same. Not even half. And because she didn't respect me. Not only did she not respect me, she taught her son not to respect me. So interesting. The husband's called to love, or the man is called to love, and the wife to respect. Why the difference? We'll see later on that both are necessary in both directions, but the order here is significant. Jesus Christ gave us different roles, and he wired us with different needs. He just made us different. And thank God for that, because everybody else is taken, so I might as well be me. And if you have a problem with me, as I always say, then you have a problem with him. And good luck. Take it up with him. Thank God that he made us different. Because two of me would not work. I need opposite. I mean, we need to have things in common, but I cannot have another me. No. So husband love and wife respect. This is where humility comes in and not pride. Remember, ingredient number one is, and Philippians told us, In humility, consider others more important than yourself. We're all going to hurt one another. We're human beings. That's what we do. And this is my boundary. This is my rule. As long as you maliciously don't have the intent to hurt me, I can forgive you. And we can move on. If you have the intention to hurt me, like my ex did many times, she told me I had the intention to hurt you, whether it was something she said or something she did. Her malicious, that word malicious intent. She thought about her, I'm going to hurt him. Okay, that's evil. Whether you like it or not, it's the Bible. It's not me. It says right there, in humility, consider others more important than yourself. See, I talk about this. When you serve others, you can't serve you. When you love others, you can't love on yourself. It's not about you. See, marriage and relationships isn't about giving the other person what you want or need. Let me say that very clearly. Marriages and relationships isn't about giving the other person what you want or need. No, that was a problem in my last relationship. It was all about what she wanted, what she needed. Instead of, oh, what, Chris? Oh, you don't like the way that I'm talking to you? Okay. Yeah, if you continue on talking to me like this, I'm leaving you. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to talk to you like that no more. There's a choice. It's almost like a DJ. When I was a DJ, the one thing they taught me was don't play music you want to hear. Play music they want to hear. Isn't that crazy? So a DJ is a lot like being in a relationship. It is reading the crowd. You're reading your spouse and what they want and what they need and what is going to show them love. Regardless if you think it is stupid, whether you think it's insignificant, whether you think it's crazy, it's not up to you to judge. It's not. It's about understanding what they need and giving that. Now, a lot of men shut down and they won't talk and they won't say what they need and they won't communicate. Men, stop it. Be a real man. Be a real God-fearing man of Jesus Christ and tell your woman what you need. And if they don't give you that, then you leave. See, it doesn't work to say, if I were you, I would want such a show. The reality is you're not them. And they're not you. But finding what they need takes humility. I talk to people all day long. The owner spot, I sat 2 hours outside of my gym yesterday in the parking lot answering phone calls around the world. I walked into my spa last night at 10 minutes to 8 to 10. I got there at 7 o'clock. I was on the phone. See, it's not about me. It's about you. It's about giving you what you need, what you want. And I'm very good with that. And I think it's because of my humility. And I'm trying to teach other people the same way. And that is how you love people the right way. Husband and men, your wife and your girl needs to know that she is loved. I would tell my girl every day, I would tell her how beautiful she was. I would build her up and not BS build up. Genuine buildup. Tell her how proud I am of her. When you love somebody, why would you want to rip them down? Why would you want to call them names? Why would you not listen to their feelings? Why would you tell them their feelings are not? You know what the worst thing you could do to somebody? When somebody tells you how they feel or how you have made them feel, and you turn around and you make their feelings invalid. It is like you don't matter. Your feelings don't matter. It's my feeling. It's my feeling. And this is how I feel. Can't do that to people. You would chase people away, left and right. Think about Jesus. Did Jesus do that? Not one time. Women, wives, so important. Your man, your husband needs to know he is respected. We're going to focus on love first. So I want to back up a bit. Verse 25, husbands, men, love your wives, your women, just as Christ loved your church and gave himself up for her. That is Ephesians 5:25. The first thing to notice is the Bible's order of operations. The fairy tales all told us to get married because we were in love. Love is the condition. Marriage is the action. Giving your heart and your life to Jesus Christ, that is the condition. Being baptized, that is the action. See, the Bible reverses it. Give love because you're in a marriage, because you are in a relationship. Marriage is a condition, love is the action. Don't miss this. That simple change of order changes everything. See, we're used to thinking of love as something that just happens to you, like winning the lottery or something you fall into, like a trap door. But would God really create love as some unstoppable and capricious force of nature? In the Bible, love is a choice. And in marriage, it is 1,000 choices every day in a marriage. So in a relationship, it's the same thing. I want to read that. In a marriage or in a relationship, it is 1,000 choices every day. It is the actions you take and the sacrifices you make. But I want to add something, because when I was doing this, it's not. So what I've learned with my ex, it is the actions you take or the actions or the lack of actions you take. And the sacrifices you make or the sacrifices you do not. For your spouse, for your man, for your woman. See, love is a verb. It's not a noun. It's a verb. Look back at verse 25. Love your wife, just as Jesus loved the church and gave himself for her. Jesus didn't just have fuzzy feelings for us, warm, fuzzy. No. He served, he healed, he washed feet, he persevered through hard times, he worked, and he laid down his life. That is the action of love. 1 John 3:16, explains it simply. And this is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for you and me and for the others. He didn't even know us. We didn't do anything to deserve that. My ex has not deserved to be loved the last 3 months. Unfortunately, I have. But that's all coming to an end soon. That is true love. Then John calls us to love, not with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. See, I say this all the time. It's not what people say, it's what people do. I used to say that to my ex all the time. Man, you talk a good game. Man, you promise, you're open, broken. She's had more broken promises to me than ever, even in entertainment. Why? Because she said something and her actions never met up. And right here in the Bible, these are not my words. I got these words from the Bible right here. Not with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. In other words, what you do and what you do not do is what love is. John 3:18. Now, that is not to discount the feeling of love. That feeling is amazing. It's almost like endorphins, right? It's almost like a drug. To have somebody look you in the eyes with love, I hope to God there's going to be another woman that one day will look into my baby blues and just smile and see Jesus Christ in me and just love me for the misfit that I am. But if you wait for that feeling to hit you before you act on love, you're not obeying God, but your flesh. And just as quickly and easily as that feeling led you into marriage or into that relationship, it can lead you into cheating or leaving. The same gravity that made you fall in love can pull you right back out. You fall in, you fall out. It's all falling. But the love of Jesus Christ calls us to rise. And the amazing part is when you choose to act on love, because you're married, you're in a relationship, the feelings will follow the actions. Wow. So simple. Try it. Next time you feel nothing, pick that moment to do something that you know speaks her love language. Some of them are gifts, love language. Some of them are um, acts of affection, maybe clean the house, maybe do the dishes. My ex would say, "Oh, you clean the house, that turns me on." That was her language of love. Some people like me, touching. Some people like affirmative. Um, um, tell them they're beautiful. Tell them how much they mean to you. You should be telling them that anyway. It's funny because I got well, I don't want to say that word, but I got persecuted in my relationship because when things were bad, I would communicate them to her. But when things were good, I would communicate them to her. Is that crazy? So you're allowed to talk about the good with her, but you're not allowed to talk about the bad. That's insane. That's insane. Like I said, buy her flowers, take her out to dinner, give her a massage, make dinner for her, make a card out of some old pictures. She didn't deserve to be loved the last 2.5 months, but I spent days and hours because I deleted all the pictures of us and pictures of her son, her family, her dad in the hospital. I went through all that with her. Remember her dad had double lung transplant, all that. I went through all that with her. I put on a thumb drive from all my computers, from my phone, from everything. I spent hours. I probably spent about 10 to 12 hours, and I gave that to her. And she didn't even say thank you. No feelings required. Just do it because God said so. And watch what happens. The more time, thought, and yes, money that you invest in her, the more you will feel those old, fuzzy feelings of love. Jesus said something brilliant about this. In Matthew 6, he told us to store up our treasures in heaven, and he explained, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be. Matthew 6:21. Your heart follows your treasure. That is a phenomenal bit insight right there. Whatever you invest yourself in, your heart moves in that direction. Not the stuff you have to do, what you choose to do. When I met her, I said, because it was I lived in Pittsburgh and she lived in Texas, and I said we started out as friends, and I said, listen, I don't ever want you to do something, or me, that we feel like we have to do. I want us to do things, just like the Bible says right here, natural, that you choose to do. Your treasure, your treasure. So invest in heaven and invest in your spouse. There's a lot more to say on love and how it works in a marriage and a relationship, including how a wife ought to love her husband, her man. So we're going to take another day. We'll probably do this on Monday. That way, men, I want you to do this over the weekend. Well, actually, men and women. This is This is what I want you to think about. What is the difference between getting married because you're in love and giving love because you're in a marriage? I want you to think about that. And then question number 2, which is more important to you? The feeling of love or the action of love? For me, it's the action of love. When somebody shows me, like you guys, emails, text messages, phone calls, when I'm out in public, when I was at the Wynn in Vegas and people were running up, baby Trump, taking pictures, that level of love, when I'm looking somebody in the eyes and I could see tears because they watched the podcast or they took the mushrooms, the root brands, and it changed their life, or I said something that changed their life, that is an act of love. Okay, we have some time left. I want to read this whole chapter, and it is Ephesians 5. Yep, Ephesians 5. Be very careful how you live. You are God's children, and he loves you very much. So you must try to be like him, Christ-like. Show that you love other people. Remember how much Christ loved us? He gave himself as a sacrifice on our behalf. He offered himself in a way that pleased God, like a sacrifice with a lovely smell. So as God's people, I'm going to say, but this is the Bible. You must never have sex with anyone that you're not married to. Do not do any kind of disgusting thing like that. Do not want many things for yourselves, just to make you happy. This is not how God's people should live. Do not speak in a way which uses dirty words. Do not talk about silly things like fools do. It is not right for God's people to talk like that. Instead, you should speak in a way which shows that you're thanking God. You can be sure about this. Nobody who does any kind of disgusting thing belongs to God's people. People who want many things just to please themselves are like people who worship an idol. They also do not belong to God's people. Nobody like that belongs to the kingdom where Christ and God rule. They will not receive the good things that God has prepared for his people. Do not let anyone. Who? Anyone. Who's anyone? Does that mean a truther, an influencer, somebody in a patriot community, Trump? Anyone. Have a chance to deceive you with a false message about those kind of bad things. God will certainly punish people who do not obey him. So keep away from those kinds of people. I always say, birds of a feather flock together. You are who you hang with. Once your minds were completely in the dark, but now you belong to God. As a result, you have become full of light. So now you must live as people who belong to the light. The light helps you to live in a way that is good, right, and true. You should learn more and more to do the things that please Jesus Christ. People whose minds are in the dark do things that have no good purpose. Keep away from wrong things like that. Instead, show how bad those things really are. People like that should be ashamed of the things that they do secretly. Those things are too bad for us even to talk about. But when God's light shines on something, people can see clearly its true nature. Everything that becomes clear to see is in the light. That is why it says, wake up, you people who are asleep. Rise up from among the dead people. Then Christ will shine his light on you. So you must be very careful how you live. Live like people who are wise. Do not live like fools. Many bad things are happening in these days. So whenever you have a chance to do something good, do as much as you can. Do not live like fools, but instead understand what God wants you to do. Do not drink too much wine so that you become drunk. Now, I want to read that again. So for all the people that persecuted me about me having an open bar at the Record Fest. Oh, by the way, we had 2 open bars, and the people that were drunk was 1, and that was an influencer. Okay? So it doesn't say don't drink. Don't drink so you're out of control, so you're drunk. Because once you do that, now you're letting the evil spirits come in. Okay? It will destroy your life. I want to give a shout out to M Squared, Michael, my brother. Spoke to him this morning. He's no longer drinking. He's done. We'll never see a drink again. Man, I'm proud of him. I'm so proud of him. And the world is going to get to experience the best version of Michael. And man, I cannot wait to see that. And I want to be there with him every step of the way. Instead, let God's Spirit fill you. He will help you to speak to each other with all kinds of spiritual songs. Sing palms from the Bible, and Christian songs. Praise the Lord with songs from inside yourselves, and always thank God. Give him the praise, give him the glory, the Father for everything. By our Lord Jesus Christ's name. Wives and husbands, serve one another to show that you respect Christ as you matter. So when you love and respect one another, you're showing Jesus Christ you love him. When you do not love and respect one another, you're showing Jesus Christ you do not love him. What did baby Trump just say? I didn't say it. I'm the messenger. It's in the Bible. I dare you to read it. So I'm going to read it again. Serve one another. What? Serve one another? I heard Chris talk about that. Didn't he just say serve others? So that's in the Bible. Serve one another to show that you respect Christ as your master. Wives, women, obey your own husbands, your men, as you obey the Lord. Right there in the Bible. A husband or a man that is, I want to put this, a godly man that is doing the godly thing, that is submitting himself to Christ, has authority over his wife or woman, in the same way that Christ has authority over the church. See, the church is like Christ's body. As its head, he saves her. As the church serves Christ as its master, so should wives and women should serve their husbands and men in everything. Husbands, men, love your wives, your women, as Christ loved your church. He even agreed to die on its behalf. He did that to make us completely clean, to absolve us of all of our sins and all of our wrongdoing, even before we did it. As the people of God, it was like he washed us with water as he brought God's message to us. Christ himself did this to bring us to himself as a beautiful group of his people. His church would belong to him completely. Do you know why God made us? That's why we were made, for him. It says it right here in the Bible. His church would belong to him completely. It would be pure without anything bad to spoil it. So husbands, men should love their wives and women just as they love their own bodies. People talk to me about, oh, you take pictures, oh, blah, 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 you love you're a bodybuilder, you're a meathead, you're this. What does that say in the Bible? Husbands, and I'm just going to put men out there, should love their wives and women just as they love their own bodies. Well, what does Chris always say? This is my temple. We're only given one temple. We are to take care of it. Why are we to take care of it? Because Jesus is in us. Man, if I'm not making sense to you today, and this isn't one of the most powerful podcasts I've ever done, I don't know how to get through to anybody then. I should just pack it up. It's right there in the Bible. So if you treat your body with respect, and don't lie to yourself. I have so many people that lie to me. Oh, Chris, I work out 3 times a week and I eat so good but I'm 40 pounds overweight and I've been doing this for 2 years. You lie. And the only one you're lying to is yourself. But I can't help you. Nobody can help you when you're lying to yourself. I'm going to show you. You can even say, like, I'm putting on girth. I don't know if you got, look at that. Do you guys see that? Look at that. Look at that peak, man. 5 months after being cancer free. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put 10 pounds of muscle on. Like that. no steroids. Can't do that because once you have cancer, you always have cancer. Just natural. The mushrooms. See, the mushrooms make you superhuman. I keep saying that, which means your recovery, you sleep better, you build muscle quicker, you last longer in the gym, which means you can lift heavier, you can lift longer. If there is somebody in the Dallas area, preferably Salina, Frisco, please contact me. I need to have you video me in the gym and a couple of workouts. Maybe you're not professional. I don't have a lot of money to pay somebody, but maybe you want to do something and use it as a portfolio. I'll promote you. I'll put you on my podcast, but I really, really need that. It would be very powerful. So not for me, for other people that have been asking me. So please get a hold of me. FlexYourTruth.com, FlexYourTruth@yahoo.com, or my telephone number, 412-506-1711. If you watched the beginning of this podcast, actually, I put it up there right now. Please get a hold of me. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's finish this up. A man who loves his wife or woman shows that he loves himself. There is nobody who hates his own body. Everyone feeds their body and takes care of it, or so we hope. In the same way, the church is like Christ's body that he takes care of. We are like the parts of Christ's body. Maybe that's why I have so much love to give to a woman, because the way that I am with my body. When a man marries, he leaves this is so important. It's about cleaving. When a man marries, he leaves his father and his mother. Instead, God joins the man and his wife together as one. It's called cleaving. Cleaving. Okay? The two people become like one body. This is God's secret, and it is difficult to understand. But I'm saying that it teaches us about Jesus Christ in the church. But each one of you husbands and men should understand this. Love your own wife, your woman, as you love yourself in Christ. And every wife, every woman among you must respect her husband, respect her man. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. This is only day one of Love and Respect. Get the book. You're going to see what I got out of this. We're going to continue. Oh, Monday, I think I have a guest. And maybe Wednesday, I might be bringing my buddy Clayton from Roots on. So maybe we will do this next Friday. Couple of things I did want to talk about. So I'm going to talk to the mushroom company, and I'm also going to talk to Linda. And what I might do is, because these watches work and I want everybody to have them, so what I might do is, in the additional to the $100 off, what I might do is, for every watch that somebody buys, I might give them a free bottle of the mushrooms on me. So I'll probably do it as a promotion for March. If you are interested, you can text me, email me, whatever. I'll promote it on my show. I'm going to do a video about that. So in other words, you get $100 off, and then you get a free bottle of the mushrooms. So it's about $150 off. Yeah, I mean, that's my gift for you. Okay, guys, have a blessed weekend, and men, love your wives. Husbands, love your wives. Men, love your women this weekend. Try something different. And women, wives, respect your husband. Respect your man. Men, husbands, Tell your wives what you need from them. Women, wives, tell your man what you need. Guys, I hope this helped you. Hope this blessed you. Guys, always flex your muscle. I'm sorry, flex your mind, flex your muscle. Above all, flex your truth. Have a blessed weekend.